I'm looking a little overly white right now. I might have to fix that. And yes, I'm wearing 2 hoodies. It snowed last night and I don't have the diesel heater installed yet. Now before we begin, no one is allowed to say, "You're copying DangPods," because I already said that when I suggested this idea, but some people wanted to see it anyways. They probably knew that people would go feral over this concept and set me up to be jumped. Anyways, cheap stuff. I'm broke, you're broke, we're all, a little bit broke, probably. I like thrift shopping. I'd rather have something old and neat than new and cheap. I think that contradicts myself a bit. You can pick up some good quality used stuff from thrift shops from around the same price as new, low-tier, injection molded garbage. A lot of stuff I built my van out of was secondhand garbage. But that's not the best part. No. The best part is that you never know what you're gonna see. It's a museum of randomness. Ripley's Believe It or Not is more predictable. I mean, as long as you're looking past the moth-eaten clothes and the dated racist caricatures. We sometimes play a game in the Discord server where I announce I'm heading to a thrift shop. Tell me what to look for. Thrift shop I spy, essentially. I made a community post asking what you guys want me to find, and I tried to find it. No guarantee I'll buy it, but I'll try to find it. There's no easy way to tell you guys this, but you fucking suck at this game. You're too broad, too generic. This is a thrift shop. There could be anything here. I want specifics. That's the fun. Finding that one stupidly niche item. So I made a list of some of the more interesting ones. But beat brainstorming. I'll pick the ones I like from the comments below. I went to a place called Jasper Pickers in Jasper, Alabama. I've been there quite a few times, and it usually never disappoints. It's not really a thrift shop, more of a bigger indoor flea market. It's done booth by booth, but that usually means you get a better variety of stuff since it's not all one hive mind running the show. There's also bound to be better stuff than, say, America's Thrift Store, since it's people selling their stuff directly, with a cut of it going back to the store, rather than just donating it for free to be then marked up to unreasonable prices. We hate America's Thrift Store on this channel. There's always a handful of booths that are just reselling dropship garbage from Temu or DIY small business stuff, and I know I support that, but a lot of it just ends up being AI garbage shoved into cheap tumblers. One trip through the dishwasher and these are toast. There's also some really cool stuff to find. Johnson Seahorse Racing Boat Motor, 1929. Quick Google search, this was just a bunch of bros in a barn in Indiana building boat and plane motors, from 2-cylinder 2-stroke outboard motors all the way up to V12 airplane engines. These things were their bread and butter. Unfortunately, it went officially defunct in 2020 after changing hands a few times over its life, but a company called Bombardier, whatever it is, supposedly still support these things. This is a non-working display, but if that's true, you might be able to bring this thing back to life. $700, it's yours. Right next to it was this massive cash register. I did try to find some information on this, but it's mostly just auction listings and valuations. There's a model number if you're interested in giving it a look yourself. That's the kind of cool stuff you can find at these places. I remember finding a whole V6 short block a while ago in a different place. Sweet Valley High. Someone asked me to find obscure board games, and I found a decent handful, but the Carrera on the front got my eye. I love these cars. That was a brand new car when this game came out in 1988. I believe it's based on a series of books under the same name by Francine Pascal and Jamie Suzanne. I don't know, not my kind of books. The whole premise is you're trying to set up a date and find a boyfriend to go with. Ages 8 and up. Not a game for insecure fathers and their daughters. Something I'm always keeping my eye out for is duck-related products. Ducks are my thing if you couldn't tell. I've been lucky before. I have a Beanie Baby duck on a shelf that holds a bracelet my mom gave me. Thanks, Mom. And another that holds my headphone and spare cables. Unfortunately, it's pretty weak this time around. Plenty of other stuffed animals and such, but no duck. I did find these exceptionally orbital birds. If I could have found a spot to bring them with, I would have. I also keep my eye out for vintage car stuff. I'm a gearhead. It was also on the list to find some obscure vintage car stuff. Unfortunately, that was also weak. There was a single Brodozer wheel and some other stuff like Ed Roth reproduction plates and other things. But I did find these. No markings, no badges, but from a reverse image search, I think these are Ford Pinto hubcaps. I'm sure these were used on other Ford products, and supposedly even some Dodges, but for the most part, Ford Pintos. They were probably blown straight off the car itself. Speaking of hubcaps, Tesla hubcaps. Why are there always a stack of these things everywhere I go? They're ugly. I can agree to that. But there's so many, I can't imagine every Tesla owner is taking these things off and pitching them or trying to resell them. I think these are stolen. Hi. No. Unfortunately, that was just about the gist of it. I don't know if it was a Christmas rush or maybe they were clearing stuff out approaching the new year, but it was just sort of gutted except for the few odds and ends. I'll have to wait for a stock refresh and explore some other places. If you know some cool places, let me know down below. Not much is out of the question. We are mobile after all. But I know you're asking, what caught Wyo's eye? What did I find worth spending my cold hard cash on? Fortunately, not much. I went in with a budget of like 20 bucks. I got 5 things, which is not bad. I think I paid 16 bucks in total. But it's nothing super interesting. However, this is not my only trip. Come on. You can sit right here. Or not. I did get some cool things on some previous trips I'm going to add to make up for this. We'll get to those in a bit. We are now leaving the script. Everything that follows is raw, unfiltered, straight from the Duck's mouth. I think Nutters has been here. He has this strange addiction to plastic bags. I have to keep them hidden or else he's going to chew a hole straight through them. And I know that's not good for him. I don't have to be a vet to tell you that. How much did I spend? Yeah, $16.41. Is that how I'm laying it out? I can't remember how I'm laying it out. $16.41. Keep the prices there because I can't remember how much I spent on all. Actually, I think all the prices are listed on it. Yeah, they are. Make a quick pile. I already said I got a Beanie Baby duck, but I'm kind of like birds in general, and I think these are all kind of cool. This is a blue jay whose name, I believe, is printed on the inside. It is an original Beanie Baby, according to this. Might be worth some money. Not that I care. I don't buy into that whole thing. March 12th, 1997. Name, Rocket. I think I paid, where's the price on this guy? $2.25. I don't think that's a bad find. He'll probably set up on the dashboard or something like that, or he'll probably set up next to the other duck. Actually, yeah, I like him up there. He could stay up there. Some older Hot Wheels. There's one guy that was charging stupid money for these things. I think like 10 bucks a pack. Another guy just around the corner, $1.99. 1995 model. I wonder if this thing's worth some money. It's yellowed around the anti-tear. There's a specific name for these things that we had to use when I was working at Walmart. I think it's like a... I can't remember. Power Charger Performer. Now, this, I believe, was a reproduction of original models, so these aren't worth that much money, but considering that this thing is almost, what is it, 2005, 20, almost 30 years old. Actually, yeah, it would be 30 years old. 1995, it's 2025 now. Let's look this up. This one, model series, none of them are checked off. This is car number 5 of 12, which would make this the Power Pistons. I believe this was also in the movie Accelerate. Maybe not in the movie, but no, I'm pretty sure this was in the Highway 35 movie. Positive of it. It's the old Hot Wheels logo, which I like a lot more than the new Hot Wheels logo. Everything's got to be modern. One single color, 2 colors, nothing more than that. This is a lot nicer if the sticker wasn't in the way. Let me look this up. Let's see how much this thing is worth. Probably not a lot. Power Piston. I can't imagine this would be worth a lot. Oh! I'm not connected to the internet on this thing. Well, you see the price whenever I pull it up on here. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi dongle I have is not very good. I don't recommend those things. They only work on like 2.4 gigahertz, which everything does, so it conflicts with my keyboard, conflicts with the Bluetooth on my phone, conflicts with all the other Wi-Fi services on 2.4. Those things are junk. Why do they sell them? Look at the packaging it came in, too. I mean, what a fucking waste. Yes, I know that's fucking DankPod's thing, but he makes a great point. Anyways, this is kind of neat. I don't think I'm going to take it out of the box because I really like the box. Because again, I like the old I like the old logo that they had for these. I can get this sticker off safely. Nope, it's already failed. I'm not going to touch it because then it's just going to be sticker material on it, and then there's just no way to stop this. I'm going to be quite honest. The only reason I got this was for the name on the box. Dinky. I thought this was some off-brand, you know, cheap, like dollar store toy to try to compete with Hot Wheels, try to compete with Matchbox, which at the end of the day was just competing with Mattel. But no, this is an actual Matchbox product. Dinky. This, I believe, is a 67 Mustang? Yeah, 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback. It's not a very good model up front. It's kind of like too flat on the front, so the nose kind of looks a little odd. You can kind of see that. It's kind of just a little bit weird. It's kind of odd. It's kind of got some weird wheels and tires, but I mean, this is an older model, so nothing high quality, I'd imagine. Beaverton, Oregon. Doesn't say where it's made. I see Beaverton, Oregon, Rugby, UK. I believe that's where that is. And Tullamarine, Victoria, Australia. Oh, made in China. Of course you are. Dinky. The Dinky Collection. Who comes up with these names? I did look up the value of this. I think it's like $20 for these things, unopened. I paid $5. So I don't think that's a bad deal. But with it being opened, the box is in pretty rough shape, along with the sticker that I tried to peel off and clearly failed. I think you use acetone to get the rest of that off, but it might screw with the box itself. I don't think I did too bad. I think $5 is fair for this. Again, I don't think I'm going to take it out of the box because I don't need to. But this will have to go into storage because I don't have a space to fit it. We'll get to that later, though. I also got, as part of the list, and also because I wanted it, it's finally wrapped. Shot glass. Florida's favorite cocktails. Sex on the beach. That's the only reason I got it. Collins glass. 1 ounce vodka. Half filled with orange juice. Half filled with cranberry juice. Float half ounce peach schnapps. Huh. I didn't even notice that when I bought this. I might have to try that. I don't have any vodka though. So, shot glass off the list. And it's going to go up in my collection of shot glasses up here. Those surprisingly don't go flying out. And then towards the end of my trip, I was kind of bummed out because I really like getting old games. I've gone on this whole craze of preservation and whatnot. I accidentally bumped the microphone cord, so hopefully I didn't screw something up. I've had this big old craze of preservation and such like that. And I've been trying to find old games that I remember playing and games that I haven't tried before, like the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Spyhunter Nowhere to Run. I believe this is the sequel to the original Spyhunter, which I do have, but I never played. I don't remember if I had the second one, though. So I grabbed this because it was $5. I was desperately trying to find a game. Their collections were all football games and sports games and hunting games. This is the only thing that really stood out. I'm sure there's other games on that shelf that people would have liked to see. Nothing that really grabbed my attention, but if there's anything there, again, it's at Jasper Pickers. It's actually like straight back as you go. There's a whole section for games and such. I didn't notice it though. I just thought it was some generic guy. That's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the back, or on the front. It says it on the back. Nowhere to Run features action superstar Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the role of Alex Decker. Actually, wasn't that his name in a movie? So yeah, I might have this in my collection, but in case I don't, I have another one now. Unfortunately, no copies of Need for Speed Underground 2. I collect those things like I collect bottle caps in Fallout. But for $5, I ain't gonna complain. Someday, I will review my PlayStation 2 games. I don't have it with me, and I don't have a way to really set it up, but at some point, I'd like to go through some of these games and maybe talk about some of them. But that's all I picked up on that trip, but don't worry. This desk is filthy. Love living with a cat. That's not all that I got. I've got other things from previous trips. Things that I'm excited about. Now, I should be wearing gloves and a respirator and probably multiple other things because this thing is filthy. NES. Super Nintendo. 1985. NES 001. Thing is, old, it is crusty, and it has definitely had a rough life. I mean, look at the yellowing on the front of that. You can't really see it that well in the camera, but it is super yellowed. It is disgustingly yellowed. There's no power cords that came with it. Actually, oh shit. It's kind of crusty on the RF switch. Actually, I'm kind of taking a peek in here, and it looks pretty crusty beyond belief. And the audio and video are also looking a little bit rough. This thing may not work. This thing looks like it's probably taken a dip once or twice in a not so friendly environment. No game in it. I actually never bothered to check, but yes, there's no game in it. Buttons feel like buttons. Didn't come with a controller, but you know how much I paid for this thing? $1 whole dollar. $1 for this, which means it more than likely doesn't work. What's this? Ah! I'm gonna guess it's a spot for like an expansion slot. Looks like there's a spot where you can add something. I don't know much about these. Nintendo was never my thing. And I know that's kind of bad because I'm sure there's going to be someone down there that schools me on this, but I picked it up. I mean, it's $1. How can you say no to $1 NES? Even if it doesn't work, you have an NES for $1. That's a lot better than it getting thrown away. And I mean, there is some damage. Again, I highly doubt this thing works. I would love to take it apart, but unfortunately, I don't have screwdrivers that would fit in these slots. Oh, I got just a good image inside. That is... Oh, this thing is going to be interesting to pull apart when I do eventually decide to. No controllers, no power plugs, no nothing. Better than it going in a landfill. May not be worth trying to save. I'll let you guys decide. There's a serial number on the bottom here. Plenty of information on the bottom. If you're interested in taking a look at it. Oh, this thing is so filthy. Ugh. All right, let's put it away. And not to be beaten by just the NES, I also picked up something that is also as equally crusty, if not maybe just a little bit worse. Halo Edition Xbox 360. I never had an Xbox 360. My thing was PlayStation. But I can't remember how much I paid. It was dirt cheap though. That was the only reason I bought it, is because, again, just like the NES, it was one of those things that's like, it's better than going to a landfill. But, I mean, it's disgusting in this thing. Didn't come with... Is getting to the bag again. Oh my god, this thing is rough. Let me try to clean this up real quick. It's filthy. Oh my god, this thing is a fucking biohazard. Oh my. Oh, dude, look at the ports. Look at the ports in this thing. Good god. There are noises in this. It is making musical noises. It looks cleaner on camera, but I promise this thing is rough. Alright, I need a more aggressive cleaning cloth. Anyways, I'll have my disgusting freak out later. Halo Edition Xbox 360. Again, I never owned an Xbox as a kid. PlayStation was my thing. Okay, I had a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and it was only at PlayStation 4 that I realized maybe it's time to invest in Xbox, and got an Xbox One, which then I inevitably upgraded into an Xbox One X and gave the Xbox One to my brother. And then my One X bricked itself. And then I built a PC and haven't looked back yet. But again, I've taken a big interest in video game preservation and some older video games and such. I still have my PlayStation 3 with me. Well, it's not with me, but it's in storage. But I have my original PlayStation 3 that I bought. Well, I guess I didn't buy it. My parents bought it for me for Christmas. I want to say 2009? As I'm getting into it, I realized more. I've got the PlayStation 2. I've got the PlayStation 3. I'm going to need an Xbox because there's exclusives for the Xbox too. beyond just the games that were shared on both consoles. The games I don't really care about. I never really got into Halo. I didn't really get into Forza until later. But now that I'm older, I want to try some things out that I never got a chance to try before. I have this dream of having this multimedia setup in a bus, right? Because right now we're in a van. There's not space for this stuff. But eventually I want to have a multimedia setup in a bus with just a bunch of 7th gen console shit. I mean 6th and 7th gen, but 7th gen was my thing. So, I mean, there's plenty of old console stuff, but 7th gen is really not that well, talked about. I don't know what it is. Everybody has interest in old NESs or 6th gen and 5th gen stuff, but 6th gen, I guess, it's just still on the cusp of being too new. That a lot of people don't care about it, but I care about it. This is the generation that I grew up with. Why the Halo 4 Xbox? It is on sale. It didn't come with any power cords. I believe these work with just Xbox One controllers. You could just use those instead of the original Xbox controllers. I think I paid, I don't remember the exact number, but it was around $20. And for that, can you really be mad? Well, looking at how dirty this thing is, it's probably going to be a money pit. I have no idea if this thing works. I don't know if these have touch buttons or if this button is stuck. Again, I know nothing about these. If you would like, here is the serial number and everything like that. You can look that up and tell me if this Xbox is even worth saving. I think it is, just for the case alone. I think these cases are fun. It's slightly see-through on the front part. It kind of gradients into a solid on the back, but I think if I can clean this up and maybe fix it, I'm not sure how you'd fix that. Maybe try to clean it out and infill with epoxy or something like that. Give this thing a good buff, maybe, without ruining the paint. Cleaning it up, pulling it apart, because it is filthy in there. I really don't know if you could see it, but it is disgusting. And of course, modding it. I'll be surprised if the disk drive works in this thing, but if we could put it all on a hard drive, like an SSD, that'd be great. I did try to find some other tech stuff. There wasn't really anything there, but we got opportunities for other times. Oh God, why did I say it like that? Oh my God, look how much shit just fell out of it. Look at that. Oh my, get that thing away from me. That's a biohazard. Oh, I just put my hand on the vent and it's sticky. Ew. I do have some Xbox 360 games like Far Cry. Isn't that handy? Audacity crashed. I think we have some cool opportunities to make some cool stuff. I know there's not a lot of 7th gen focused multimedia setups. I don't see a lot online, so I think that's our plan for this. I'll get my old PlayStation 3, take it apart. I'll probably just clean it up. I probably won't mod it, maybe throw a new hard drive in it, and that's about it. But this thing is probably going to need a lot of work. So, but I think that's about it. Now, there was other tech that I should try to find, old phones or something like that. Currently, right now, I'm using my S24 as a camera, which is fine, but I'm worried about cooking the battery in it, keeping it plugged in and recording all the time. So I need to find an old phone. It doesn't really matter to me. Just use it as a camera, and then I can use my phone to look up prices and such. There's old computer stacks and whatnot that I could use to make like a NAS or something like that, but I don't think that's going to be really necessary right now. I'll just keep buying old hard drives and such like that and filling them up until I'm completely out of space. That'll be for the bus. I'll have a home NAS setup for the bus. If you want to support this channel, both this channel and the main channel, I'll link my Patreon down below. I'm working on trying to do some more unique stuff for that. I need to build up my momentum again because 2024 just kicked my ass. You can also become a channel member on the main channel if you'd like. This channel is not monetized yet. We got to put in some more work for it. Share this video around, comment, do whatever you think you need to do. If we can get another source of income, it means more garbage like this. Ugh. I will see you guys later. How do you end videos like this? And Dinkbots has got it figured out.